from South Miguel.
Testing 1, 2. All right, sorry about that. Had some technical difficulties we're dealing with here. Down here in Tampa, looks like we got those all set up. 10-9 our score here in Tampa. Another foul against Edward Waters is going to go against Adonis Tolbert for Tolbert. That is going to be his second personal, fourth team foul against the Bulls, or against the Tigers, I should say. And that is going to send Corey Walker Jr. to the free throw line for South Florida. Again, we apologize for those technical difficulties we had. Looks like we're all set to go. See, the Prez is in. Sorry about that, Prez. Free throw attempt good for Corey Walker. Gives South Florida a 13-9 lead with 15 minutes left to go here first half from Tampa. For Edward Waters, it is Edwards, Nord, Mitchell, Mario Deeper, and Mark Henry. Three-point attempt, no good for Edward Waters. Chased down by Celton Miguel. Miguel down the floor, goes around his back, over in the corner here to Jaden Reed. Reed back up top to Miguel. Miguel work guarded by Nord, goes in the lane, goes high up, trying for an alley-oop attempt. Corey Walker with it now, 17 on the shot clock now. Backs his way into the lane. Right-hand shot is no good. Rebound Sky taken down by Mark Henry. The Tigers will slow things down. 14:26 to go first half. It is 13-9 in favor of South Florida. Here's Goliath Mitchell with the basketball now for the Tigers. Hands off to Caleb Edwards. Edwards beginning to make a move. Pulls up, 4-2. It's no good. Off the heel of the rim. Rebound, a one-hand rebound by Corey Walker. Walker brings it up himself. Walker into the corner over to Celton Miguel. Miguel pulls up 4-3. That one's no good. Rebound's going to be taken down by R.J. Nord, and the foul is going to be called against South Florida. That foul is going to go against Kobe Knox for Knox's second personal, third team foul against the Bulls. New subs in the game as Kayshawn Pryor checks in, the Chicago native. 6'10 junior from Chicago. In the game for Edward Waters, also checking in is Jeremiah Quartang, the freshman from Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Played his high school basketball at North Florida Educational Institute. Tigers moving from left to right as we see it and as you hear it, trailing 13-9 with 13:50 left to go. Here is Quartang. Quartang's back up top to Deeper. Deeper over to Edwards with 10 on the shot clock now. Trying to call for a screen. Here comes Deeper with it now. Now goes over the left side now. 5 seconds on the shot clock now. In the lane, in the corner. Here is Mark Henry. Henry's two is no good. Rebound taken down by Jalen Reed. Reed on the run here for the Bulls. Across the timeline now. Coming right to left over to Miguel. Miguel pulls up for 3. That one's in and out, no good. And Mark Henry's got the rebound. Gets over to Jeremiah Quartang. Quartang on the run for Edward Waters. Quartang trying to make a move inside, back up top to Henry. Henry at the top of the key, back up top to Quartang. Tigers will try to slow things down. 18 on the shot clock, 13:09 on the game clock, 13-9 in favor of South Florida. Shot attempt blocked by South Florida. Celton Miguel with the basketball now for the Bulls. Over to Pryor. Pryor gets it over to Sam Hines. Hines guarded by R.J. Nord. Back up top to Reed. Reed top of the key now. Trying to work around the screen from Ogunleye. Reed begins to drive left side in the corner to Miguel with 9 on the shot clock now. Begins to drive in the lane. Fadeaway shot in the lane. Now hands off to Ogunleye, and it's going to be a 3-second call here against South Florida. Justin Mincy checks in for Edward Waters. Mincy, the sophomore from Augusta, Georgia, transfer from Voorhees. 13-9, South Florida with the lead. 12:36 left to go first half from Tampa. Here is Mincy with the basketball now for Edward Waters, wearing jersey number 33 for the Tigers. He begins to drive in the lane, and he's going to be called for travel. For Edward Waters, that's going to be their third turnover tonight.
Checking in for the Bulls, number 3, Chris Youngblood. Also number 5.
Chris Youngblood back in the game for the Bulls, as well as Brandon Stroud. In for Edward Waters is going to be Larry Scott. Scott, another returner for Edward Waters, the 6'4" junior from Jupiter, Florida, transferred last year, or 2 years ago, I should say, from Kaiser University. Reed gets it over right elbow to Agunlier. Agunlier hands off to Stroud. Stroud tried for a alley-oop to Pryor, but broken up by the Tigers. Tigers have a 3-on-2. Here is Quartang. Quartang's layup no good. Rebound taken down by Youngblood. Youngblood wants to run. Outlet pass over to Brown and Brandon Stroud. Stroud up top to Youngblood. Youngblood back to Stroud. Stroud thought about the 3. Now hands off to Pryor. Pryor over to Jaden Reed on the right side now. 16 on the shot clock. Over to Agunlier, right elbow. Hands off now to Reed. Reed over to Stroud. Stroud for 3. It is good. Stroud for 3. 16-9 our score. South Florida with the lead. Here's Mincy with it now for Edward Waters. Mincy hands off to Quartang. Quartang on the left side. Up top to Mark Henry. Henry begins to drive in the lane. Henry, right hand layup is no good. Rebound is going to be taken down by Jalen Reed. Reed on the run for the Bulls. Reed begins to drive right side. Reed's layup high off the glass. Bounces off the rim and goes in. 18-9 our score. South Florida with the lead. 11 minutes left to go here, first half. Here's Mincy with it now for Edward Waters. Mincy over to Mark Henry. Henry becomes to the top of the key, hands off to Jeremiah Quartang. Quartang calls the play with 10 on the shot clock now. Calls deeper for a screen. Now goes for the right side now in the lane, and it's going to go out of bounds. It will go off of the feet of Quartang, and it will be South Florida basketball as we go to immediate timeout. 10:41 left to go here, first half from Tampa. South Florida 18, Edward Waters 9. Let's take a timeout. Back with more Edward Waters men's basketball after this quick timeout right here on the Edward Waters Sports Network.
Become a member of the Tiger Club today to support both academic and athletic opportunities for student athletes here at EWU. Through their support, members of the Tiger Club provide student athletes the opportunity to pursue their educational and athletic goals while representing our university and the city of Jacksonville as a whole. Members are also providing the resources needed for continued success at the SIAC and NCAA Division II level. Support Tiger student athletes by visiting www.ew.edu and visit the Tiger Club and join today.
Your family's health is important to you and to the care teams at Ascension St. Vincent's Health Centers. For regular doctor appointments and routine checkups, visit us here. For things that can't wait, get in quickly for urgent care here too. Need x-rays or lab work? We even do that here. Book online anytime for all the care you need, all in one place, at the Ascension St. Vincent's Health Center nearest you.
Back here in Tampa, Edward Waters trails the USF Bulls by a score of 18-9 with 10:41 left to go here first half from the Yuengling Center here in Tampa. Fans, don't forget the Edward Waters football squad is back on the field on Saturday. Final home contest for head coach Toriano Morgan's Tigers as they welcome the Dragons from Virginia University of Lynchburg for a 6 o'clock p.m. kickoff down or over on the stadium there in Jacksonville. Get your tickets now online at ewutigerpride.com/tickets. Send out this Edward Waters football squad out with the bang. A win on Saturday will give Edward Waters their first winning program, or winning season, I should say, since 2004. So definitely want to see a big crowd there. Also want to help us say goodbye to 10 very special seniors who've definitely been a great part of the legacy of Edward Waters football over their 4 years in Jacksonville. South Florida set to trigger it in. Tigers again down 18-9 with 10:41 left to go here in the first half from Tampa. Here come the Bulls. This is Stroud with the basketball now. Stroud checked by Edwards. Over to Placer. Placer over to Youngblood. Youngblood's three, good. The Bulls have gone on a bit of a run now, beginning to run away with it a bit here now. It's 21-9 in favor of South Florida with 10:20 left to go here in the first half. Mincy over to, on the left elbow, to Mark Henry. Henry begins to drive in the lane. Henry's layup is good. Mark Henry with a strong move cuts the lead down to 10 at 21-11. Here come the Bulls now. Stroud right side. Over to Placer. Placer top to Agunlier. Agunlier beginning a drive. Now hands off to Stroud. Stroud from the free throw line pulls it for two. That's off the front of the rim. No good. Rebound taken down by Jeremiah Quartang for Edward Waters. Quartang beginning the drive here. Hands off in the corner to Scott. Scott trying to work around the screen from Henry. Back in the right corner to Quartang. Quartang right baseline to Scott. Scott had the ball batted up in the air. It's going to go out of bounds. It'll be Edward Waters basketball with 11 seconds left to go on the shot clock. Goliath Mitchell checks back in for Edward Waters.
Checking in for Edward Waters, number 11, Goliath Mitchell.
Mitchell so far 0 for 2 from the field tonight in just under 6 minutes of play. So they'll stop the play. Coach Huff trying to get away with one there as the shot clock was reset to this band. As the shot clock was reset to 30 instead of 11, the band chanting awkward silence because there absolutely was an awkward silence for a bit here. But it looks like all hearts and minds are settled. We're set to go. Tackles were inbound from the sideline on the far sideline on the right side. 11 seconds on the shot clock. Inbound to Joshton Mincy. Mincy guarded by Placer. 7 on the shot clock now. Here is Goliath Mitchell. 5 on the shot clock now. Mitchell pulls up. Free throw line. 2 good. Goliath Mitchell's first basket of the night. 21-13 our score with 9:23 left to go here in the first half. Pryor with it now. Guarded by Henry. Over in the corner to Kobe Knox. Knox. Cross-court pass to Youngblood. Youngblood cross-court pass right side to Placer. Placer beginning a drive down the lane. Lost the basketball. It goes out of bounds. It'll be Tiger basketball. 9:07 left to go first half. South Florida 21, Edward Waters 13. Joshton Mincy with it now. Down the floor to Goliath Mitchell. 22 seconds on the shot clock. 8:57 on the game clock. Mitchell beginning a drive right side. Now goes down the baseline. He is going to be fouled. Foul's going to go against Kayshawn Pryor.
Bulls foul number 11, Kayshawn Pryor. That's
Pryor, his first personal 14 foul. Tackle to inbound baseline right. In the corner to Henry. Henry right side. Trying to work back down. Corey Walker lost the basketball. Here comes the Bulls now. Kobe knocks with the basketball. Had it taken right back by Goliath Mitchell. Mitchell begins to drive. Mitchell down the lane. Mitchell's right hand layup is good. Goliath Mitchell with the layup. The Tigers cut the lead down to 6 at 21-15 with 8:30 left to go here until halftime. Here's Jose Placer now guarded by Joshton Mincy. Mincy hands off. Placer lays up good. Nice give and go between Corey Walker and Jose Placer. Placer with the layup. And the lead goes back now. Should be 21 to 23-15. 3-point shot for Edwards off the front of the rim, no good. And down the floor, wide open man, Corey Walker, two-hand jam. The score should be 25-15. On the board, they have it 27-15 with 7:48 left to go here until halftime. Here is Mincy over to Goliath Mitchell. Mitchell tries a left side three, no good. Rebound taken down by the Bulls. Here's Chris Youngblood with it now. Youngblood cross-court pass to Placer. Placer over to Kayshawn Pryor. Pryor tried his hand at a three. That one's no good. Rebound taken down by Deshaun Edwards. Edwards down the floor for Edward Waters. He begins to drive down the lane. Lost the basketball, but he's fouled. He is fouled. That foul is going to go against Kayshawn Pryor. For Pryor, his second personal. That's the 15th foul. That's going to send us to another media timeout. 7:24 left to go here in the first half from Tampa. USF 25, Edward Waters 15. Let's take a timeout. Back with more Edward Waters men's basketball after this timeout here on the Edward Waters Sports Network.
For the latest news, scores, and inside information on Edward Waters University athletics, be sure to log on to EWUTigerPride.com. From feature stories about your favorite teams, live online events, breaking news, and game recaps, EWUTigerPride.com has your fix for all the official online home of Edward Waters University athletics.
Become a member of the Tiger Club today to support both academic and athletic opportunities for student athletes here at EWU. Through their support, members of the Tiger Club provide student athletes the opportunity to pursue their educational and athletic goals while representing our university and the city of Jacksonville as a whole. Members are also providing the resources needed for continued success at the SIAC and NCAA Division II level. Support Tiger student athletes by visiting www.ew.edu and visit the Tiger Club and join today.
Hi, I'm attorney Robert Rubenstein, and this is Rubenstein's Rules for Personal Injury. Rule number 1, get an attorney. When you or a loved one have been injured by another's negligence, an experienced attorney can make a huge difference. At Rubenstein Law, we will find all the insurance, make sure your injuries are documented, and work to get you the best result. While each case is different, a well-known insurance company's own study showed people with a lawyer, on average, got more money. Call Rubenstein Law at 1-800-FL-LEGAL. Offices in Jacksonville and throughout Florida.
Back here in Tampa, 25-15, our score. South Florida with the lead. With 7:24 left to go here until halftime. Joshua Jackson here with you from the Rubenstein Law broadcast position here in Tampa, Florida. Accidents over fall, call Rubenstein at 1-800-FL-LEGAL. It's offices in Jacksonville and throughout Florida. Tigers set the inbound, just off the inbound pass, is taken away by the Bulls. Down the floor, his Walker layup is good. Walker with the steal and the layup, and the lead now goes to 12 at 27-15. Here is Goliath Mitchell for Edward Waters, left side now. Works around a Mark Henry screen. Gets over to Henry. Henry thought about the three. Now we'll hand off to Trevino Glover. Now hands off to Goliath Mitchell with 6 on the shot clock. He'll pull up 4-2. It's no good. Rebound taken down by Jaden Reed for South Florida. Down the floor come the Bulls. Reed hands off to Miguel. Miguel's right-hand layup is good. 29-15, our score. South Florida with the advantage. 6:38 left to go here until halftime. Here's Caleb Edwards with the basketball now guarded, or hands off now to Mark Henry. Henry hands off to Trevino Glover. Glover begins to drive, now hands off to, behind the back goes Caleb Edwards. Hands over to Mark Henry, and he stepped out of bounds. Turnovers killing Edward Waters right now. By our count, the Tigers have 7 turnovers tonight. 6:16 left to go first half, 29-15 our score. South Florida with the lead. Walker hands off to Youngblood. Youngblood over to Pryor. Left block to Glover. Glover with the pass. His shot is good, and the foul for Corey Walker. Foul's gonna go against Goliath Mitchell. Mitchell, his first personal. That's the 15th foul against Edward Waters. Adonis Tolbert checks in for Edward Waters. Corey Walker at the free throw line for 2 free throws for the Bulls. Walker tonight the leading scorer for the Bulls with 7 points tonight. He's stuck on 7 as that free throw is no good. 6 minutes exactly left to go here. First half, Tigers down 31-15. Here is Caleb Edwards. Edwards hands off to Edwards. Or to Mitchell, I should say. On top, here's Trevino Glover. Glover thought about the 3. Now we'll pull up for 2. It's good. Got the big man, Kayshawn Pryor, in the air, stepped up in the arc, pulled up for two, and it's good. 31-17 our score. Here is Jaden Reed. Reed up top. Here is Walker. Walker beginning a drive. Up top to Walker. His shot is good. That was Miguel on the drive. That's Walker with the shot. Walker's shot was good. Count now goes to 33-17. Foul against South Florida. That's going to go against Chris Youngblood. Youngblood, his first personal. That is going to be the 16th foul against the Bulls. Sam Hines and Jose Placer check in for the Bulls. Tigers will inbound, sideline right, on the far side of the Yingling Center. 5:22 left to go first half, 33-17 our score. South Florida with the lead. Caleb Edwards with the basketball now for Edward Waters. Guarded by Placer over in the corner to Deshaun Edwards. Edwards beginning a drive in the lane. Kicks back over to Caleb Edwards. Edwards looking to make a move, 7 on the shot clock now. Guarded by Placer. He pulls up for 2. It's no good, but he is fouled. And he'll go to the line for 2 free throws. Foul's going to go against Sam Hines Jr. And it's going to put the Tigers at the free throw line for the remainder of the half. It's the 17th foul against the Bulls. Edwards so far tonight, as that first free throw does go down for Caleb. 6 points on the night for the junior from Knoxville. R.J. Nord checks back in for Edward Waters, replacing Deshaun Edwards. One more free throw due Caleb Edwards. Sights, shoots, and scores. A 2-for-2 trip for Caleb Edwards. It's now 33-19 with 5:02 left to go here until halftime. Jose Placer with the basketball now, guarded by Caleb Edwards. On the right elbow to Walker. Walker up top to Miguel. Miguel over the left side to Hines. Hines left block to Youngblood. He is fouled. And we'll go to the line for 2 free throws. That was going to go against Trevino Glover. Glover, his first personal.
Foul number 32, Trevino Glover, that's his first, team 6.
And the 16th foul against the Tigers.
Chris Youngblood at the line for the Bulls.
Chris Youngblood at the line for South Florida. Youngblood tonight 6 points for the Bulls. Perfect at the free throw line tonight. He'll remain perfect, 4 for 4 tonight. One more free throw due Chris Youngblood. Sights, shoots, and it's good. 5 for 5 for Chris Youngblood. 8 points tonight to lead the way for South Florida. It is now 35-19 with 4:43 left to go here until halftime. Caleb Edwards with the basketball. Edwards beginning a drive, hands off to Goliath Mitchell. Mitchell driving right side. Layup is no good. Rebound taken down by Corey Walker. Walker brings the ball up the floor. Hands over to Chris Youngblood on the right side. Here is Miguel. Miguel's going to try a 3. That one's no good. Rebound will go out of bounds, and it will go over to Edward Waters as a couple Bulls fall right into those fans that have the fancy floor seats. Daniel Tobiloba checks in now for the Bulls. Tigers will inbound sideline left. 35-19, 4:23 left to go here first half. South Florida with the advantage. Stick around for our halftime report. Stats, facts, and figures from this first half. And the box-to-row blitz from Donald Ware. All that to come here at the half. Caleb Edwards having a bit of a discussion with the South Florida fans. And we're set to go. Edwards with the basketball now. He'll bring it across the timeline. They'll begin to drive right side, and there's going to be an offensive foul called against Edward Waters. Foul's going to go against Adonis Tolbert for a blocking foul. That's going to be the 3rd personal on Tolbert. The 17th foul against Edward Waters. Mark Henry checks in for the Tigers to replace Adonis Tolbert, who you'll think was going to be sitting for the remainder of the half. 35-19 our score. South Florida with the lead as we have a foul called against Edward Waters. That's going to go against Trevino Glover. For Glover, his second personal, 8th team foul against the Tigers. Head coach Cabral Huff is going to have a bit of a discussion with the referee Shane Land. Chris Youngblood at the line for 2 free throws. I'll check that for 1 and 1, I should say. Youngblood 5 for 5 tonight at the line. Free throw is rims and no good. The broadcaster jinx works this time. 35-19 on score. 4:04 left to go here first half. Cross-court pass over to R.J. Nord. Over to Mark Henry, top of the key. Henry hands off to Trevino Glover. Over to Caleb Edwards. Edwards right side now. Edwards beginning to drive left side of the lane. Hands off to Mark Henry. Off his hands, out of bounds. Bulls basketball. And we have a media timeout. Timeout on the floor. 3:47 left to go here until halftime. South Florida 35, Edward Waters 19. Let's take timeout. Back with more Edward Waters men's basketball after this right here on the Edward Waters Sports Network.
If I'm looking for that old style mouth watering, zesty flavored, finger licking good southern barbecue, you fill me up when I'm down. When there's nothing left around, we head straight to the best place in town. Come on down. A place that feels like home when I'm gone away from home. It's the smell that brings me back, it's true. Cause it's Bono's, the boss of barbecue.
Bono's, the boss of slow-cooked pit barbecue since 1949.
Edward Waters University offers education with your goals in mind, giving you a stronger today. We are Florida's most affordable HBCU online MBA program, and it's 100% online. Plus, you can earn that degree in as little as 12 months. You'll focus on timely knowledge leading to career success and advancement, including immersion in real-world problems and leadership practice. Visit ew.edu to enroll today. Edward Waters University, emerging eminence.
Hi, I'm attorney Robert Rubenstein, and this is Rubenstein's Rules for Personal Injury. Rule number 1, get an attorney. When you or a loved one have been injured by another's negligence, an experienced attorney can make a huge difference. At Rubenstein Law, we will find all of the insurance, make sure your injuries are documented, and work to get you the best result. While each case is different, a well-known insurance company's own study showed people with a lawyer, on average, got more money. Call Rubenstein Law at 1-800-FL-LEGAL. Offices in Jacksonville and throughout Florida.
3:47 to go here until halftime here from Tampa. South Florida 35, Edward Waters 19. Joshua Jackson here with you from the Rubenstein Law broadcast position here in Tampa, Florida. Action at Super Fall. Call Rubenstein Law at 1-800-FL-LEGAL with offices in Jacksonville and throughout Florida. For Edward Waters on the floor, it is Glover, Nord, Henry, Mitchell, and Edwards, Caleb Edwards. Placer comes in now to trigger in for the Bulls. Gets it across the timeline, over to Toby Loba. Toby Loba top of the key. Hands off to Placer. Placer right elbow. Begins to drive right side of the lane, now kicks it back out to Selton Miguel. Miguel begins to drive now right side of the lane, cross-court pass. Here is a 3 from Stroud. That one runs off the back of the iron, no good, but chased down by Miguel. Miguel with it now, a fresh 20 for the Bulls. He begins to drive in the lane. His wild shot is no good, but a foul is going to be called against R.J. Nord. I'm not sure about that one. That's not the best call there. And head coach Cabral Huff not liking that one. For Nord, that's his second personal. That's the 9th team foul against the Tigers. That's going to put Miguel at the line for 2 free throws. It was a shooting foul. First free throw to the native of Angola. First shot is good. Ascension St. Vincent's Medical Group Northside is the home of Edward Waters University athletes. Schedule your exam by calling 904-308-5490 for Ascension St. Vincent's Northside. Second free throw for Miguel is good. Lead goes to 37-19 with 3:19 left to go here until halftime. Caleb Edwards with the basketball now for Edward Waters. Across the timeline he comes, guarded by Placer. Going into the lane now. He'll pull up from the free throw line for 2 and good. Caleb Edwards for 2. He's ready for this one. Edwards, that's his 9th points of the night to lead the way for Edward Waters. 37-21 our score. Hand off to Miguel. Miguel right side now. He pulls up in the lane for 2 off the back of the iron, no good. Rebound taken down by Toby Loba. Toby Loba in the game, in the lane. His shot goes up, it's no good, but he is fouled, and he'll go to the line for 2 free throws. That's going to go against Goliath Mitchell. For Mitchell, that's going to be his 2nd personal, and the 10th team foul. The Bulls will be shooting 2 for the remainder of the half. Daniel Toby Loba at the line for the Bulls. Bulls, his first free throw is no good. He's stuck on 0 points so far tonight. Toby Knox checks in for South Florida. One more free throw due for Toby Loba. Sights, shoots, and it's good. First point of the night for the native of Nigeria. 38-21 our score. South Florida with the advantage. Caleb Edwards with it now for Edward Waters across the timeline, guarded by Placer. Goes over the right side now. Beginning to make a move, goes behind his back now. Will pull up for 2. It's no good. Rebound taken down by Kayshawn Pryor. Pryor across the timeline now for the Bulls. Over the right side now, trying to call out a screen. Hands off to Toby Loba. Toby Loba right elbow. Hands off to Stroud. Stroud down the lane, kicks it over to Knox. Knox is going to try a left side 3 and good. Toby Knox for 3. That's the 8th points of the night for Knox. 41-21, the lead doubled up now for the Bulls. Here is Goliath Mitchell. Gets it up top to R.J. Nord. Under 2 minutes left to go here first half. He'll pull up for 3. Nord's 3, back of the rim, no good. Rebound going to go into the hands of Jose Placer. Placer across the timeline now for the Bulls. Down the lane, kicks it over. Here's Stroud. Stroud down the lane, and it's going to be a blocking foul called against Edward Waters. That's going to go against Trevino Glover. That's his 3rd. Nice hand for Brandon Stroud. Thought Glover got there for what would have been a charge, but the officials think otherwise, and that is going to put Brandon Stroud at the line for 2 free throws. Stroud tonight 1 of 5 from the field, 0 for 2 from the free throw line. First free throw for Stroud is off the front of the rim. Jeremiah Quarting comes on to replace Trevino Glover. Reed and Agunlier check in for South Florida. One more free throw for Stroud. Sights, shoots, and he scores. First free throw of the night for Stroud. Miguel checks in for South Florida. 42-21 our score. 1:43 left to go here until halftime. Caleb Edwards with it now for the Tigers. Comes across the timeline. Rolls over the left side now. Guarded by Reed. Hands off to Nord. Nord at the top of the key. Over to Goliath Mitchell. Mitchell begins to drive down the lane. Left off high off the glass and in. Goliath Mitchell's layup is good. 42-23 our score. With 1:18 left to go here first half. Reed over to Pryor for South Florida, top of the key. Gets over to Miguel, left side, outside the three-point line. Hands off to Agunlier on the left block. In the lane to Pryor, but taken away by the Tigers. Here's Mark Henry over to R.J. Nord. Nord in the lane. Nord's layup is good. R.J. Nord with the layup, 42-25. We go under a minute to go here until halftime. Reed with it now, and a timeout called by South Florida. Nice little run there for the Tigers, showing some signs of life. It's a 30-second timeout for South Florida. We will go ahead and we will keep it here. Fans, Edward Waters University is a proud member of the NCAA Division II, which is celebrating its 50th anniversary during the 2023-2024 academic year. Division II was established in 1973 as a home for colleges and universities to provide academic scholarships, the flexibility to pursue unlimited academic paths, and interactive community engagement to give student athletes a balanced experience they can make their own. Ready for another 50 years of success in NCAA Division II? Let's make it yours. Tigers down 42-25, 50.6 seconds remaining here, first half from Tampa. Bulls set to inbound, and Kobe Knox is going to be inbounding right in front of me at the scorer's table. Sideline left. Knox inbounds to Reed. Reed works around the screen. It's going to be an offensive foul called against Agunlier. Caleb Edwards absorbed a big shot, but it's helped up by Mark Henry. For Agunlier, that's his first personal. That's going to be the 9th team foul against South Florida. Check out the 8th team foul. Tigers with it now. Edwards gets it over to Goliath Mitchell. 22 seconds on the shot clock, 36 seconds on the game clock. Mitchell over to Quartang. Quartang gonna try a three and good. Nothing but nylon for the Toronto, Ontario, Canada native. 42-28 our score. 25 seconds left to go here until halftime. Jalen Reed with it now for South Florida. Guarded by Caleb Edwards at the top of the key. And it's gonna be a steal here for Quartang. Quartang down the floor. Quartang is gonna travel. Quartang lost the basketball. And South Florida will have it now with 11 seconds left to go here until halftime. You got to think the message from Amir Abdur-Rahim to his team is hold for the last shot. 8 seconds on the game clock. Here's Reed now with 4 seconds, 3 seconds. It's going to be an illegal screen against Agunlier. Illegal screen against David Agunlier. Agunlier is going to be charged with his second personal. That's the 9th team foul against South Florida. Trevino Glover checks in for Edward Waters. 2.5 seconds left to go here until halftime. RJ North to the trigger and in for Edward Waters. Here is Caleb Edwards. Edwards with no time left on the clock. Hits for three is no good. And we'll go to the locker room with the Tigers trailing 42-28. That'll be the end of the first half here from Tampa. South Florida 42. Edward Waters, 28. Let's go ahead and take a timeout. When we come back, we'll begin the halftime report after this timeout. 42-28 our score here at the break. Back with halftime action after this right here on the Edward Waters Sports Network.
At Ascension St. Vincent's, care is listening and delivering personalized plans from a team of specialists providing leading-edge treatment at every step. Make your next appointment at getjaxhealthcare.com.
What if you could check off your whole shopping list and get your favorite products without ever waiting in a checkout line? At Sam's Club, you can use our super fast Scan and Go app to save big on the freshest produce, top quality meats like fresh-cut USDA Choice Angus beef, all your must-haves, and unexpected finds. Skip the checkout lines and you're on your way so you can get back to living. Hurry in today and get amazing members-only savings. Not a member? Join today and try Scan and Go at Sam's Club.
When you need a repair, BKR Enterprises offers skilled tradesmen for all your remodeling, repairs, or maintenance needs. Subscribe and like us on social media today and stay in the know for promotions and deals. Mention GoEWU for a special rate on your next project. Call 904-559-9990. That's 904-559-9990. BKR Enterprises, proud sponsors of the EWU Tigers.
Ask Sherwin-Williams and save big during the 4-day super sale. Get 40% off paints and stains with sale prices starting at $26.69. Hurry, it's only September 15th through the 18th. Shop online or at your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store.
At Wingstop, we don't just make wings. We make wings worth obsessing over because every order is made fresh. Every single time. We don't start till you say go. And we make sure it'll be worth that wait, just like we've been doing for more than 20 years. From atomic to lemon pepper, we make it our way. And in doing so, make it irresistible. Wingstop, the wing experts.
Back here at the break, South Florida leading Edward Waters by a score of 42-28. Joshua Jackson here with you from the Rubenstein Law broadcast position here at the Yingling Center here in Tampa, Florida. Accident slip or fall, call Rubenstein Law at 1-800-FL-LEGAL with offices in Jacksonville and throughout Florida. It was a good start for Edward Waters in that first half of play. The Tigers were able to lead by as much as 3 points in that first half of play, in the early part of that first half, but South Florida just, really just kind of turned things on, leading by as much as 21 in the first half. They have the 42-28 lead at the break here at halftime. Edward Waters with 9 turnovers. Edward Waters with 9 points off of USF turnovers. South Florida with 13 turnovers, or 13 points off of EWU turnovers. South Florida with a slight edge in points to the paint, 16-12. Second chance points going to the favor of the Bulls, 3-0. And on fast break points, South Florida with a 10-5 advantage. Bench points also going to the favor of South Florida, a 19-7 advantage for the South Florida Bulls. Again, Edward Waters has got to find a way to hold on to the basketball. They turned the ball over 11 times in that first half of play. They did force 10 turnovers in their first half, but they've got to be much better stewards of the basketball in the first half of play. Edward Waters as a team shooting 42.9% from the floor, 12 of 28 shooting. Also were just 1 of 7 from three-point range, 14.3% from the three-point line. From the free throw line, Edward Waters 3 of 4 from the charity stripe, 75% free throw shooting for the Tigers in the first half of play. For the Bulls of South Florida, 14 of 25 shooting, 56% from the floor, 4 of 11 from the three-point line, 36.4% shooting, and they were 10 of 16 from the free throw line, shooting 62.5% from the free throw line. Leading the way for the Tigers of Edward Waters is going to be Caleb Edwards. Edwards playing all 15 minutes at that first half of play, had 9 points on 3 of 6 shooting, was 0 for 1 from the three-point line, also was 3 for 4 from the charity stripe. Just behind him was Goliath Mitchell with 6 points in that first half of play. Played 15 minutes and 36 seconds of that first half. Also was 3 of 8 from the floor and was 0 for 2 from the three-point line for Goliath Mitchell. For the Bulls of South Florida, led by Corey Walker, 6 of 7 from the floor. 13 points, was 1 for 2 from the free throw line. Chris Youngblood with 8 points in that first half of play. 5 of 6 from the free throw line, which is 1 for 1 from the floor. Kobe Knox with 8 points in the first half of play. 3 for 3 from the floor. 2 for 2 from behind three-point range with 8 points in that first half of play for the Bulls of South Florida. So that's the first half numbers in this first half of play. If Edward Waters can hang on to the basketball, hopefully it can make for an exciting second half here for the visitors from Jacksonville. Again, an exhibition contest. You want to see how you stack up against Division I competition. It's a great start for this Edward Waters ball club. Let's see how they stack up against these Division I guys to get you ready for what's going to be a tough SIAC campaign for this Edward Waters squad. So, again, they're making a decent showing of themselves here tonight. But I thought the main message for head coach Cabral, Huff, to his charges in the locker room has got to be, we've got to stop shooting ourselves in the foot. We've got to just hang on to the basketball, run our sets. We're able to do those things. We've been able to have some success here tonight. So, it's got to find a way to hang on to the basketball and hopefully have some success there in the second half of play. We'll go ahead and we'll take a timeout. When we come back, we'll send it up to North Carolina where we will get you this week's edition of the Box to Row Blitz. At the break here in Tampa, South Florida 42, Edward Waters 28. Let's take a timeout. Back with the Box to Row Blitz after this timeout right here on the Edward Waters Sports Network.
Meet Harper. Harper was born to care and always had your back. Like the time she spotted a friend's rogue retainer, a threat of a permanent overbite, and made the save just in time.
I got you. Thanks.
Today, Harper still has your back as a teammate at Truist, the bank with Truist One checking.
I got you. Thanks.
With no overdraft fees, a negative balance buffer, and automatic upgrades, it's the checking account that has your back.
I'm John Davis, Secretary of the Florida Lottery, and I'm proud to lead an agency that is creating brighter futures for Florida students, families, and communities. As the primary funding source of the Bright Future Scholarship Program, the lottery has helped nearly 1 million students reach their dream of a post-secondary education. And we will continue to do our part to ensure that every student across this state is aware of these opportunities and has the resources needed to succeed. Because together, we can build a brighter future for all.
This is your weekly edition of the HBCU Blitz, powered by Box to Row. I'm Donald Ware. First, I'm going to take you to Baton Rouge, Louisiana, where Texas Southern was thinking upset against the Southern Jaguars. We're going to pick things up in the fourth quarter. Texas Southern with possession and driving.
Here's the handoff for Howard. Fumble the ball. Southern's got it. Southern got it. He's going to take it to the house. It's going to be a touchdown. Are you kidding me? Kelvin Gibbons gets a touchdown to the defensive end on a fumble recovery, and Southern is down only by 3.
17-14, the Jaguars would get a 54-yard field goal by Joshua Griffin with 8 seconds remaining. We were tied at 17 and headed to overtime. Texas Southern failed to convert on the first possession in overtime. Southern got the football and know what to do with it.
Here's the handoff. Rhymes got to get on that other side. Here's the run. 5, 10, touchdown! Southern wins the game! Southern wins the game on a touchdown by Kendrick Rhymes. Kendrick Rhymes on a 16-yard run.
Tell them about it, Chris Shillette on the Jaguars Sports Radio Network. Southern remained tied for first place in the Western Division with the 23-17 overtime victory over Texas Southern. Now to Norfolk, Virginia for a MEAC showdown between Norfolk State and Morgan State. Both teams with one loss in the MEAC. A second loss would be detrimental. We're going to pick things up in the fourth quarter. Norfolk State having just scored a touchdown, leading 28-10, and on the ensuing kickoff.
End over end kick. Jenkins fields at the 9, straight ahead 10, 15-yard line 20. Keith breaks a tackle 30, still on his feet 40, far sideline 50, one man to beat, foot race 20, 10, 5. Keith Jenkins Jr. goes the distance. 91 yards.
The 2-point conversion was good, and the Bears pulled to within 28-18, but Morgan State wasn't done.
Gets the snap. Here comes pressure. Big time. Flips it away. Picked off. Intercepted. Near sideline, Eric Hunter. 20, 15, 10, 5. Pick 6. Bears back on the board. 60-yard interception return.
The extra point pulled the Bears to within 28-25. We're going to move to within 60 seconds remaining. The Bears with possession on the move, looking to take the lead.
Taj Smith will await the snap. Gets snap in the pocket. He'll tuck and run. The 10, the 5, the house. Taj Smith.
That was the mentor, Lamont Germany, on WEAA. The Bears storm all the way back, defeat Norfolk State 32-28 to Birmingham, Alabama for the Magic City Classic between Alabama A&M and Alabama State. We're going to move to late in the second quarter. Alabama State trailing 14-10 and looking to go into the locker room with the lead.
Stewart looking deep, throws it deep in the middle of 4 different players, and I think Johnson caught
touchdown. Touchdown.
He went up and caught it.
That's what I'm talking about.
Keyshawn Johnson, 47 yards on the Hail Mary to end the half, and the Hornets had the 17-14 lead. Now, let's move to the third quarter. Alabama A&M trailing 17-14, looking to tie.
This one's going to be a 46-yard kick. That's blocked. It's blocked. Alabama State's got it. Going the other way. This is going to be a touchdown. The Hornets special team strikes again. Touchdown, Hornets. James Burgess with the pickup and the score.
That audio courtesy of the Alabama State Radio Network. The Hornets defeated Alabama A&M 31-16. And in Albany, Georgia.
For Banu, the quarterback. Wanting to pass on 2nd down 11. Throw over the middle to the tight end. And it's going to be caught. And it's going to be Lovett with the touchdown on the deflection. 42-yard touchdown.
The route was on in Albany as the Golden Rams defeated Miles 48-7, keeping their slim SIAC championship game hopes alive. That was my main man, Freddie Fresh Suttles, on the Albany State Sports Radio Network. Box to Row, the radio show, airs weekly on radio stations across the country, as well as on Sirius XM. To find a radio station in your area that carries the program, visit boxtorow.com.
Being in the Army National Guard is about more than serving your country. It's about being there for your community when your neighbors need you most. The Army National Guard makes college affordable, and serving part-time can help you graduate debt-free. Do you want to stay close to friends and family? The Guard allows you to serve close to home. Serving part-time in the Army National Guard lets you have the life you want. Learn more by visiting nationalguard.com.
Sponsored by the Florida Army National Guard. Aired by the Florida Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Just about set to start the second half here from Tampa. South Florida leading Edward Waters 42-28. Joshua Jackson here from the Rubenstein Law broadcast position here at the Yingling Center here in Tampa. Acting at Flipper Fall, call Rubenstein Law and 100 FL Legal with offices in Jacksonville and throughout Florida. Congratulations to head coach Lauren Ford and the Edward Waters women's volleyball squad. They captured their second consecutive SIAC Eastern Division Championship with a 3-0 sweep last night over the Lady Wildcats of Fort Valley State University. Edward Waters will enter the SIAC tournament next week as the East Division's #1 seed. That will take place next Friday and next Saturday at the Tsunami Volleyball Center in Jonesboro, Georgia, just outside of Atlanta. So again, congratulations, big congratulations to head coach Lauren Ford. This championships just attract her. It's just amazing. She led the team, led the men's volleyball squad in her just a couple months being at Edward Waters, led them to an undefeated run through the SIAC, led them to the SIAC regular season men's volleyball championship and the SIAC men's volleyball tournament championship for the first time in school history. And in just her first season with the women's squad, she's already led the squad to 20 wins in the season, as well as their second consecutive SIAC Eastern Division championship. Also, if you missed it in the first half of play, we did extend congratulations to the Edward Waters women's soccer squad. They wrap up their season today with a 4-0 victory down in Hialeah, Florida over Florida National. Lady Tigers end up their regular year with a 8-5-2 record, best record in program history. So congratulations to head coach Stephen Peck Jr. and the Lady Tiger women's soccer squad. We did originally have Tiger Madness scheduled for next Tuesday, November the 7th. Unfortunately, that has to be postponed due to some NCAA obligations. We cannot have anything happening on November the 7th, so we have to cancel that, or postpone it, I should say. We'll have more information as far as when the new date for Tiger Madness will be here in the next few days. Both teams onto the floor for Edward Waters. It's going to be Caleb Edwards, Deshaun Edwards, Adonis Tolbert, and Goliath Mitchell. So the starting five for Edward Waters. And head coach Amir Abdul-Rahim does the same thing with his starting five. Tigers with it now. They now drive right to left. Here is the backdoor pass. It's going to not into the basket, rim out. Going to go into the hands of Kobe Knox. Knox with it now left side now for the Bulls. And a foul is going to be called against Chris Youngblood as Goliath Mitchell poked the basketball away. Youngblood, however, that was Mitchell with an opportunity for a breakaway layup, but Youngblood holds him up. And the Tigers will have the basketball. They will inbound sideline left on the far side here of the Yingling Center. For South Florida on the floor, it's Placer, Youngblood, Knox Stroud, and Toby Loba. Tigers set to inbound it. R.J. Nord will trigger it into Adonis Tolbert. Tolbert hands it back off to Nord. Nord top of the key. Over to Caleb Edwards now. Edwards checked by Placer. Works between the circles with 10 on the shot clock now. Now begins to drive with 9 on the shot clock. 8 and 7. Cross-court pass over to Goliath Mitchell with 5 seconds on the shot clock now. 4 seconds and 3 seconds. Tigers got to hurry. 2 seconds. 1 second. Edwards' shot is not going to matter because it's a shot clock violation. So South Florida will inbound. Sideline left, right in front of me. Here's Placer with the basketball now for the Bulls. Over to Toby Loba. Toby Loba top of the key. Toby Loba hands off to Placer on the right elbow. Over to Youngblood. Youngblood tries a 3. That one's no good. Rebound taken by Toby Loba. Toby Loba's layup is no good, but he is fouled and will go to the line for 2 free throws. I believe it's going to go against R.J. Nord. If that is, yes it is. It's going to be his 3rd foul. So for Nord, he's got to be careful. That's his 3rd foul. First team foul of the second half against Edward Waters. Daniel Toby Loba at the line for South Florida. Just 1 point on the night for the native of Nigeria. First free throw is good. Make that 2 points tonight for native of Lagos, Nigeria. One more free throw due, Daniel Toby Loba. Sights, shoots, and it's good. 2 for 2 trip for Toby Loba. And the lead grows to now 44-28. 19 minutes left to go here in the first half. Here is Caleb Edwards now. Edwards on the right side. Cross court here to the left side. Here is Goliath Mitchell. Mitchell drive. Floater in the lane. No good. Rebound taken down by Chris Youngblood for South Florida. Out down the floor come the Bulls. Youngblood in the corner to Placer. Placer pulls up. 4-2. No good. Rebound is going to be tipped in. And they're going to say no basket. No, they're going to call a foul against South Florida. So the ball was actually tipped in. The basket was waved off. They're going to get Kobe Knox for a foul. For Knox, that's his 3rd personal. The 2nd team foul against South Florida. (44-28) our score. 18:30 left to go here, second half. Caleb Edwards between the circles, hands off to Goliath Mitchell. Mitchell on the left side now. Left block to Adonis Tolbert. Tolbert pulls up 4-2. That one's no good. Youngblood with a rebound for South Florida. Outlet pass to Stroud. Stroud left side. Lost the basketball, but got it right back. Cross-court pass over to Knox. Knox over to Placer. Placer's 3 is good. Placer's 3 is good. The lead grows to 19 at 47-28 with 17:58 left to go here, second half. Edwards splits the double team. Cross-court pass is taken away by Kobe Knox. Knox is going to go down the floor over to Youngblood. Youngblood left side to right side to Placer. His 3 no good, but the rebound and put back in is Kobe Knox. And the lead grows to 21, largest lead or tied for the largest lead for South Florida tonight at 49-28. South Florida on a 7-0 run to start the second half. Adonis Tolbert now, right side, checked by Toby Loba. He'll pull up his shot, hook shot, no good. Rebound to Placer. Placer down the floor. Works around a Toby Loba screen. Now go to the left elbow. Here is Knox. Knox gonna try a 3. That one's no good. Rebound by Toby Loba. Toby Loba backing his way. Hook shot is good. 9-0 run for the Bulls. And we have a stop and play and a foul called against South Florida. That one's going to go against Brandon Stroud. Stroud, that is going to be his 1st personal and 3rd team foul against South Florida. Toby Loba comes out. Walker checks in for South Florida. Knox is going to have to go over to the trainers because there could be a situation, there could be some blood on his uniform. Okay, John Pryor checks in.
Number 11, Kason Pryor checks in for the Bulls.
For South Florida, he'll replace Knox. 17 minutes left to go here, first half. Or second half, excuse me. South Florida leading 51-28. Here's Caleb Edwards with it now, checked by Placer. Goes over the right side now. He'll pull up right baseline shot, no good. Rebound taken down by Walker. Walker down the floor pass to Youngblood. Youngblood on the right elbow or right baseline. His shot pull up for two is no good. He gets his own rebound, shot goes up, that's no good. Rebound taken down by R.J. Nord. He goes out of bounds off of his hands. It'll be South Florida basketball. Mark Henry set the check in for Edward Waters.
Number 4, Mark Henry checks into the game for Edward Waters.
Henry so far tonight, 2 points and 15 minutes of work tonight for the junior from Haiti. 16:32 left to go here, second half. Youngblood, 4-3, no good. Rebound taken down by Mark Henry for Edward Waters. Hands over to Goliath Mitchell. Mitchell between the circles now goes over the right side now. Hand off to Caleb Edwards. Edwards comes top of the key. Over to Deshaun Edwards. Hands off to Goliath Mitchell. 14 on the shot clock now. Mitchell begins to drive right side. Kicks over to Caleb Edwards. 9 on the shot clock now. He begins to drive. That shot's blocked. Down the floor come the Bulls. Over to Youngblood. Youngblood down the floor. Layup attempt is good. The lid has just been shut tight on that Edward Waters basket. 53-28 our score. All South Florida so far in the second half. Here's a layup attempt, no good for Goliath Mitchell, but he's fouled. He'll go to the line for 2 free throws. And we go to a media timeout. South Florida on a mighty run here in this first half of play. Bulls lead it 53-28 with 15:42 left to go here in this second half of play. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll have more second half action after this. As you're listening to Tiger Basketball right here on the Edward Waters Sports Network.
Meet Harper. Harper was born to care and always had your back. Like the time she spotted a friend's rogue retainer, a threat of a permanent overbite, and made the save just in time.
I got you. Thanks.
Today, Harper still has your back as a teammate at Truist, the bank with Truist One checking.
I got you. Thanks.
With no overdraft fees, a negative balance buffer, and automatic upgrades, it's the checking account that has your back.
When you need a repair, BKR Enterprises offers skilled tradesmen for all your remodeling, repairs, or maintenance needs. Subscribe and like us on social media today and stay in the know for promotions and deals. Mention GOEWU for a special rate on your next project. Call 904-559-9990. That's 904-559-9990. BKR Enterprises, proud sponsors of the EWU Tigers.
That last foul was against USF Jose Placer. For Placer, that's his second personal. And that's the 14th foul against South Florida. 15:42 left to go here. Second half from Tampa. South Florida leading Edward Waters 53-28. The Bulls on an 11-0 run to start the second half. So the Tigers have got to find a way to cut this run immediately. Again, the Tiger football squad concludes the 2023 season at home on this coming Saturday for Senior Day, a 6 o'clock p.m. kickoff against the Virginia University of Lynchburg. Get your tickets now at ewutigerpride.com/tickets. Goliath Mitchell will be at the free throw line for Edward Waters. Mitchell with 6 points tonight. And his first free throw trip tonight for the junior from Detroit. First shot for Goliath is off the back of the right iron, no good. One more free throw attempt for Goliath. Side shoots, and that finally goes down to put the Tigers on the board for the first time in the first half, or second half of play, I should say. 53-29 our score. South Florida with the lead. 15:36 to go second half. There's Walker with it now. Over to Youngblood. Youngblood top of the key over to Stroud. Stroud left side, now hands off right block to Pryor. Pryor backing his way down over to Youngblood. Youngblood going to try a right side three, and good. Chris Youngblood for three, extends the Bulls lead to 56-29. Here's Mark Henry now. Henry's shot is blocked. But Youngblood stepped out of bounds. It'll be Edward Waters basketball with a fresh 30 underneath their basket. Kobe Knox set to check in, or check that is going to bring on Sultan Miguel to come in now for the Bulls.
Number 1, Sultan Miguel checks into the game for the Bulls.
Miguel tonight 4 points in 10 minutes of action. So they will actually reset the shot clock to 19. So Edward Waters with 19 seconds to work with here with the basketball. Inbound pass to Mark Henry. Over to R.J. Nord. Nord right side begins to drive in the lane. Nearly traveled. He's going to pull up a fadeaway three. That's a shot. Fadeaway two is no good. Rebound taken down by Kayshawn Pryor. Down the floor. Is going to go over the head of Knox. Out of bounds. Hits one of the cameramen on the end line. It'll be Edward Waters basketball. 14:51 left to go here. Second half. It has been all South Florida. 56-29. Bulls with the advantage. Goliath Mitchell with the basketball now guarded by Kayshawn Pryor. Comes over the left side now. Entry pass on the left side, left block to R.J. Nord. Nord with a power move, reverse layup is good. Great move by R.J. Nord with the reverse layup. 56-31 our score. 14:26 left to go here, second half. Here's Knox with the basketball now, over to Miguel. Reed down the lane, right-hand layup is good. Jaden Reed with the layup, 58-31, South Florida. Here is Goliath Mitchell. Mitchell right side, now goes at the free throw line, nearly had it taken away and does have it taken away by Knox. Into the hands of Miguel. Miguel down the floor for the Bulls. Over the right side, here is a three, no good. Rebound taken down, however, by Walker. Walker nearly threw it away, but it's going to go into the hands of Mark Henry. Here come the Tigers. Up the floor, here's Nord. Nord left side. Nord begins to drive. It's going to be, oh no, they're going to call a blocking foul on Jaden Reed. They're going to say Reed's feet weren't set as Nord began to drive. Reed, his first personal. It's going to be 15 foul against South Florida. Joshton Mincy checks in for Edward Waters. So they will reset the shot clock to 25 seconds. 58-31 our score. 13:39 left to go here, second half. Nord triggers it into Mark Henry at the free throw line. Henry over to Joshton Mincy. Mincy in the right corner to Larry Scott. Back to Henry. Henry over to Jeremiah Quartang, who just checked in. Quartang's going to lose the basketball. It's going to go into the lane, jump ball. It's going to go over to South Florida on the alternating possession.
Jump ball, possession arrow to the Bulls.
Assistant coach Brandon Brett just telling the true freshman from Toronto to just calm down, be strong with the basketball as you enter the lane. So South Florida will have the basketball as they will inbound baseline right. Inbound pass over to Jaden Reed. Reed down the floor, gets across the timeline. Guarded by Joshton Mincy. Nearly had it taken away, but into the hands of Knox. Knox back up top to Reed, top of the key. Goes down the left side of the lane, hands off, going to be tipped away, but back into the hands of a Bull. Here is Sultan Miguel. Miguel's reverse layup is no good, but it's going to be called for a foul. For Mark Henry, that is going to be his second team foul. The second personal, I should say. Second team foul against the Tigers. Sultan Miguel at the line for South Florida. For Miguel, 2 for 2 at the free throw line, 4 points on the night. For the native of Angola, first free throw is no good. Mario Deeper checks in now for Edward Waters, the 7-foot freshman from Jeffersonville, Indiana.
21, Mario Deeper checks into the game for Edward Waters.
One more free throw due here for Sultan Miguel. Sights, shoots. It's an 0 for 2 trip with a rebound taken down by Kayshawn Pryor. Pryor up top to Kobe Knox. Knox back over to Pryor on the right side now. Pryor baseline right shot is good. Kayshawn Pryor shot is good. 60-31 our score. South Florida with the lead. Here is Nord with it now. Right side. Nord pulls up. 2 is good. Tough shot for R.J. Nord. 60-33 our score. Down the floor come the Bulls. Here's Knox for 3. That one's no good. Rebound taken down by Nord. Nord and the Tigers want to run. Nord down the lane. Behind his back. Now collects it. Looks to make a move in the lane. Layup is no good. Rebound taken down by Kayshawn Pryor. Down the floor to Knox. Knox over to Reed. Reed will pull it out. 12-18 left to go here, second half. 60-33, South Florida with the advantage. Reed checked by Jeremiah Quartang. Reed with it down between the circles. Now goes over the right side. Into the lane goes Reed. Reed's layup is no good, but he is fouled. That's on Nord. That's going to be foul number 4. That's exactly what it is.
Edward Waters, foul number 1, R.J. Nord. That's his 4th.
So for Nord, his 4th personal, 3rd team foul. Jaden Reed at the line for South Florida. First free throw for Reed is good. The Edwards brothers, actually they're not brothers, Deshaun and Caleb check in for Edward Waters. Nord will sit, as well as Larry Scott. Nord tonight with 10 points to lead the way for Edward Waters. Reed's second free throw is good. 62-33. There's Jeremiah Quartang with it out left side. Quartang hands off to Caleb Edwards. Edwards nearly got away with the travel. Now pulls it out. Will begin a drive. Kicks it over in the corner. Here's the 3 for Justin Mincy. That one's no good. Rebound taken down by Pryor. Outlet pass over to Miguel. Miguel on the left side now. Checked by Deshaun Edwards. Begins to drive down the lane. In the corner. Here's the 3 for Reed. It's good. 65-33 our score. The Bulls beginning to heat up from 3-point range here in the second half. South Florida tonight now 35% from behind the arc. Here's Caleb Edwards with it now. Down the lane. Layup is good and the foul. Tough move by Caleb Edwards. Gets the hoop and the harm. That one's going to go against Kayshawn Pryor. His 3rd foul. Fourth team foul as we go to break here in Tampa. 65-35 our score. South Florida with the lead. We'll take with 11-17 left to go here in the second half of play. We'll take a break. Back with more Tiger basketball after this right here on the Edward Waters Sports Network.
I'm John Davis, Secretary of the Florida Lottery, and I'm proud to lead an agency that is creating brighter futures for Florida students, families, and communities. As the primary funding source of the Bright Future Scholarship Program, the lottery has helped nearly 1 million students reach their dream of a post-secondary education. And we will continue to do our part to ensure that every student across this state is aware of these opportunities and has the resources needed to succeed. Because together, we can build a brighter future for all.
South Florida's been pretty dominant here in the second half of play. 8 of 17 from the floor, 47% shooting in the second half of play. Edward Waters just 25% from the floor on 3 of 12 shooting in the second half of play. Points off of turnovers, South Florida with 19 points off of 16 Edward Waters turnovers. Edward Waters with 11 points off of 13 South Florida turnovers. Edward Waters tonight from the 3, they are now 0 for 1 from the 3-point line. For the game, they are 1 of 8 from behind the 3-point line tonight for South Florida. They are 3 of 9 in the second half of play. For the contest, the Bulls are 7 of 20 from behind the arc here in Tampa. 65-35 our score. Here in the second half here from Tampa. Joshua Jackson here with you from the Rubenstein Law broadcast position here at the Yingling Center here in Tampa, Florida. Action at Triple Fall. Call Rubenstein Law at 1-800-FL League with offices in Jacksonville and throughout Florida. Shout out Byron Abrams, listening on our broadcast, former Edward Waters men's basketball player, for the number 1 last year for the Edward Waters men's basketball squad. Pride of Atlanta, Georgia. Checking in our broadcast tonight. Caleb Edwards at the line for Edward Waters. His three-point play attempt is no good as that free throw went off the iron. Snatched down by Daniel Tobiloba. Reed with it now for South Florida, guarded by Johnston Mincy. Over to Kayshawn Pryor. Over to Miguel. Miguel checked by Jeremiah Quartang. He will try a 3. It is no good. Rebound taken down by Tobiloba. Over to Reed. Reed thought about the 3. Now will drive in the lane. Kicks it back over to Miguel. Miguel's going to try a 3. That was good this time. Selton Miguel for 3. And the Bulls extend the lead to 68-35. Caleb Edwards with it now for Edward Waters. Works around a deeper screen. Over in the corner, here's Johnston Mincy going to try a right side 3 and good. Johnston Mincy for 3. 68-38 our score. Down the floor come the Bulls. Here's Reed with it now for South Florida, guarded by Mincy. Pass over to Kayshawn Pryor. Pryor left side, over on the left block to Tobiloba. Tobiloba trying to back his way into the lane. He's going to be fouled. And that was going to go against Deshaun Edwards.
Number 5, Deshaun Edwards. That's his first foul, team's 4th.
For Edwards, his first. 4th team foul against Edward Waters. Daniel Tobiloba at the line for South Florida. 5 points on the night. 3 of 4 from the free throw line for the native from Lagos, Nigeria. Free throw for Tobiloba off the front of the rim, no good. Trevino Glover checks in now for Edward Waters. He will replace Jeremiah Quartang. Second free throw for Tobiloba. Sights, shoots, it is good. 69-38, 10-15 left to go here, second half from Tampa. Caleb Edwards with the basketball now, dribbled it off of the foot of Knox for South Florida. It'll be Tiger basketball, they'll inbound right in front of their bench. Johnston Mincy set the trigger in for Edward Waters. Gets over to Caleb Edwards. 24 on the shot clock, 10:07 on the game clock. Porcher on the screen from deeper. Here is Edwards with it now top of the key. Over to Johnston Mincy. Mincy thought about the 3. Now will begin a drive. We'll bring it back out. Here's Mario Deeper. Deeper's going to try a 3. That one's off the front of the rim. No good. Rebound taken by Jaden Reed. Reed down the floor for South Florida. Goes over the left side of the lane. Now kicks it back out to Miguel. Miguel will work between the circles, guarded by Trevino Glover. Ball is going to go out of bounds off the foot of a Tiger. It will be South Florida basketball with 19 seconds on the shot clock and 9:41 on the game clock. As we have a stop and play and a 30-second timeout taken by Amir Abdur-Rahim and South Florida.
We've got timeout on the floor.
Fans, the Florida Lottery is a proud sponsor of the Edward Waters Tigers, the Florida Lottery, enhancing education since 1988.
Fans, join us again after the game.
Again, the Edward Waters men's basketball squad will officially open up their 2023 basketball campaign on the road in Tennessee as they will take on Lee University. That contest is scheduled for November 11th. That's next Saturday at 2 o'clock p.m. up in Cleveland, Tennessee. They'll have their first 6 contests of the season on the road. Or check that first 5 contests of the season on the road. November 11th at Lee University. November 15th against Columbus State in Columbus, Georgia. Then they will play in a classic in Huntsville, Alabama against Fisk University and Young Harris on November 17th and 18th, respectively. Then they will come home on come to the North Florida area, I should say, on November 21st at 7 o'clock p.m. They will head out to St. Augustine, Florida, where they will take on the Saints of Flagler College. An old NAIA region rivalry will be renewed between Edward Waters and Flagler. The first official home contest of the year will be on Saturday, November 25th at 5 o'clock p.m. It will also be the SIAC opener for the Tigers as they will host the Marauders of Central State University. That'll be a 5 o'clock p.m. tip at the Adams Jenkins Community Sports and Music Complex back in Jacksonville. So, of course, this for all their information on Edward Waters University Athletics. Be sure to log on to our official website at ewutigerpride.com. Get a chance to see the entire schedule for Edward Waters this season. The Edward Waters women's basketball squad. Head coach Charmaine Wilson will get set to begin her 13th season at the helm of the Edward Waters women's basketball squad. They will open up their season officially on November the 13th. That is a Monday at 11 o'clock a.m., I should say. It's Make It a Kids Day. We'll welcome so many kids from around the Northeast Florida area to come and enjoy some college basketball on our campus at 11 o'clock a.m. on November the 13th, as we will welcome the Eagles from the University of Fort Lauderdale. Head coach Charmaine Wilson and the Lady Tigers, 12 seniors on the squad this year for the Lady Tigers, easily Coach Wilson's most experienced squad in her tenure as the head coach at Edward Waters. Bulls set to trigger it in. Here's Keisha Miguel now. Miguel on the right side, hands off to Knox. Knox begins to drive down the lane, kicks it over in the corner. Here's a three that is no good. Rebound is going to be taken down by Caleb Edwards. Edwards and the Tigers want to run. Edwards between the circles now. Over in the corner, here is Mincy. Mincy had his three-point shot blocked, but into the hands of Mariel Deeper. Deeper nearly traveled, but got it back over to Trevino Glover. Glover works around the screen from Deeper. Back up top to Caleb Edwards. 10 on the shot clock now. 9 seconds and 8 seconds. 7 seconds and 6 seconds. Caleb Edwards on the left side now with 5 seconds. 4 seconds. He'll pull up for two. It's good. Caleb Edwards for two. 69-40. 8:56 left to go here. Second half from Tampa. Edwards so far tonight with 13 points for Edward Waters. And the lane is Miguel. Miguel fadeaway two. Rimming no good. Rebound is going to be tipped around. It will be a foul called, but against who? So they're going to get a foul against Deshaun Edwards.
That's his second foul, team's fifth.
His second personal, 15 foul against Edward Waters. Not sure about that one.
Sam Hines Jr. at the line.
But Sam Hines is going to go to the free throw line for 2 free throws. His first free throw attempt is no good. 6'6" junior from Marietta, Georgia at the line for South Florida. Second free throw is good this time. 70-40 our score. 8:41 left to go here, second half from Tampa. Josh Demincy hands off to Caleb Edwards on the left side now. Edwards drives down the left side, had it stripped away and into the hands of Selton Miguel for South Florida. Down the floor come the Bulls. Miguel with it now. Hands off to Reed. Reed's going to try a three. It is no good. Rebound tipped and taken down by South Florida. Here's Miguel. Miguel's going to try a three. That one's good. Selton Miguel for three. 73-40 our score. Miguel now with 10 points on the night for South Florida. 73-40 our score. 8 minutes to go here, second half. Caleb Edwards with it now over on the right side, guarded by Kason Pryor. Edwards into the lane. Going to get it over to Deeper. Deeper, reverse layup is no good. And taken down by Pryor. Up the floor to Miguel. Miguel will pull it out. Up to Pryor. Pryor's going to try a deep three. That one's good. 76-40. South Florida in the lane is Edwards. Edwards is going to be fouled. And we have a timeout on the floor. Foul is going to go against Kobe Knox. That's his fourth personal. That's the 17th foul against South Florida as we have a timeout on the floor. Timeout on the floor, we will go ahead and we will do the same. 7:33 left to go here, second half from Tampa. South Florida 76, Edward Waters 40. Let's take a timeout. Back with more Tiger basketball after this right here on the Edward Waters Sports Network.
Edward Waters University offers education with your goals in mind, giving you a stronger today. We are Florida's most affordable HBCU online MBA program, and it's 100% online. Plus, you can earn that degree in as little as 12 months. You'll focus on timely knowledge leading to career success and advancement, including immersion in real-world problems and leadership practice. Visit ew.edu to enroll today. Edward Waters University, emerging eminence.
Being in the Army National Guard is about more than serving your country. It's about being there for your community when your neighbors need you most. The Army National Guard makes college affordable, and serving part-time can help you graduate debt-free. Do you want to stay close to friends and family? The Guard allows you to serve close to home. Serving part-time in the Army National Guard lets you have the life you want. Learn more by visiting nationalguard.com.
Sponsored by the Florida Army National Guard. Aired by the Florida Association of Broadcasters and this station.
7:33 left to go here, second half from Tampa. South Florida 76, Edward Waters 40. Joshua Jackson here with you from the Rubenstein Law broadcast position here at the Yingling Center here in Tampa, Florida. Accidents or fall, call Rubenstein Law at 1-800-FL-LEGAL with offices in Jacksonville and throughout Florida. Of course, want to give a shout out again to our president and chief executive officer at Edward Waters University, Dr. A. Zachary Faison Jr., listening back in Jacksonville. Doc, we've had a pretty solid fall sports season between football, cross country, even with an all-conference runner, women's volleyball and women's soccer. They've gotten it done in the fall. Hopefully the things can kind of carry over to these winter sports as basketball heats up as well as indoor track and field. Deshaun Edwards will go out the free throw line for Edward Waters. After the foul on Kobe Knox before we went to break.
Deshaun Edwards at the line for Edward Waters.
Edwards' first free throw. Back of the iron, no good. Edwards has yet to get on the scoreboard tonight. Second free throw is good. So Edwards on the board. He'll come out for a spell, replaced by Jeremiah Quartang. Quartang with 3 points tonight in 11 minutes of work. 76-41 our score. With 7:25 to go here in the second half of play. Selton Miguel with it now between the circles. Now begins to drive right side of the lane. His shot is no good. Rebound is going to be taken by, or going to be still rolling around. It's going to be going to the hands of Reed. Here's Kason Pryor. Pryor into the corner, left side. Here's Miguel's three. Good. Selton Miguel for three, 79-41. South Florida with the lead. Goliath Mitchell with it now for Edward Waters. Left side for the Tigers. Guarded by Jaden Reed. Cross-court pass to Caleb Edwards. Edwards with 13 on the shot clock now. Right side, here's Trevino Glover. Glover thought about the three, but passed it over to Edwards. Here's Mitchell, going to try a three. That one's no good. Rebound taken down by Pryor. And a foul will be called against Edward Waters. Now we're going to go against Jeremiah Quartang. Quartang, his first personal.
Jeremiah Quartang, that's his first. Team 6.
16 foul against the Tigers. 79-41, South Florida with the lead. They have dominated the second half of play, outscoring Edward Waters 34-12. Reed across the timeline for the Bulls. Guarded by Trevino Glover. Over to Selton Miguel. Miguel on the right side now. Begins to drive in the lane. Bounce pass into the lane. Layup is good for Jones. Gerald Jones, who just checked in, gives South Florida now a 40-point advantage at 81-41. Edwards with it now. Hands over to Quartang. Quartang driving in the lane. It's going to be fouled. It'll go to the line for 2, I believe. That's going to go against Sam Hines.
Bulls foul number 20, Sam Hines Jr. That's his
So
second
for Hines,
foul,
his second
team
personal. 8th team foul against South Florida. That will send the freshman from Toronto, Ontario, Canada at the line for Edward Waters. Quartang with 3 points on the night. First free throw for Quartang is in and out. Jose Placer and Kobe Knox check in for South Florida. One more free throw due for Jeremiah Quartang. Quartang sights. He shoots. It is rimming and good this time. 81-42, 6 minutes exactly left to go here, second half from Tampa. Jose Placer with it now, guarded by Trevino Glover. Working between the circles. Right side to Jones. Jones over to Miguel. Miguel to Pryor. Pryor on the left baseline to Knox. Knox trying to back his way. In the corner to Miguel. Miguel thought about the 3. Into the lane. Here's Knox. Left baseline shot. That one's no good, but right there to lay it in is Pryor. Pryor lays it in now, 83-42. Goliath Mitchell with it now, behind his back, into the lane now. Harassed by Pryor. He's going to get it over to Jeremiah Quartang. 17 on the shot clock, 5:18 on the game clock. Works around a screen. It's going to be an illegal screen called against Adonis Tolberts. For Tolbert, that's going to be it for him. That's his 4th personal. And the 17th foul against Edward Waters. Hines triggers it in for South Florida over to Placer. Guarded by Trevino Glover. 83-42 our score. 5:07 left to go here until the end of the game, I should say. Knox pulls up 4-3. That one's no good. It's going to go into the hands of Jones, but taken away by Edwards. Edwards for Edward Waters down the floor. Caleb Edwards into the lane. Hands up to Jeremiah Quartang. Quartang shot no good, but he's fouled. That one's going to go against Selton Miguel. That's his first personal. 9th team foul against Edward Waters.
Jeremiah Quartang at the line. He'll shoot
2 free throws due Jeremiah Quartang, the former Eagle for North Florida Educational Institute. Gone down to Florida for going down to Lakeland for the FHSAA state championships a couple times in his career under the direction of his former head coach, Stacy Poole Jr. First free throw is good for Quartang. One more free throw due to him. Second free throw is good. 2 for 2 trip for Jeremiah Quartang. 83-44 our score. 4:50 left to go here, second half. Placer with it now, guarded by Glover. Up top to Agumlier. Agumlier hands off to Hines. Hines highly nearly taken away, but back over to Miguel. Miguel left side, guarded by Edwards. Begins to drive right side of the lane. His right-hand layup is good. Selton Miguel has been feeling himself in the second half of play with 12 points tonight for South Florida. Layup for Edwards is no good, but a foul is going to be called.
Bulls foul number 20, Sam Hines Jr. That's his
So for Hines, his 3rd personal. 10th team foul against South Florida, so the Tigers will be shooting 2 for the remainder of the game. Caleb Edwards at the free throw line for Edward Waters. Edwards tonight, 3 of 5 from the charity stripe, 13 points on the night. First free throw for Caleb is good. That leads the way for Edward Waters with 14 points. Cason Pryor checks in for South Florida. Mark Henry checks in for Edward Waters. Khalid Pogue set to check in for his first action of the night for Edward Waters. Second free throw for Edwards is good. 15 points on the night for Caleb Edwards to lead the way for the Tigers. Khalid Pogue checks in for the Tigers. Pogue, the junior, from Jacksonville. Here's Kobe Knox with down. Knocks down the lane. Dunk attempt no good, but it's going to be getting to the hands of Jeremiah Courting for Edward Waters. Here come the Tigers. Courting in the lane. Cross-court pass is intercepted, but a block, a charge is going to be called against Jeremiah Courting. Courting called for the charge. His second personal.
That's his second foul, team's
8th team foul against the Tigers. 85-46 our score. South Florida with the lead. Courting, Henry, Glover, Nord, and Pogue on the floor for Edward Waters. Here's Kobe Knox with it now for South Florida. Over to Jose Placer. Placer nearly traveled. He's going to try a floater in the lane and good. Placer's layup is good. 87-46 our score. 3:44 left to go here, second half. Courting up top to Nord. Nord driving right side, lowers the shoulder now, goes into the lane. His layup is no good. Rebound taken down by Cason Pryor, but intercepted by Jeremiah Courting. Courting's layup is no good. Pryor gets it back. Down the floor to Miguel. Miguel in the corner. Here's Knox, 4-3, no good. Rebound taken by Khalid Pogue. Pogue will hand it over to Jeremiah Courting for Edward Waters. Tigers moving left and trailing 87-46. Pass stolen away here for Knox. Knox with a jam. 89-46. 2:55 left. Here's Nord. Nord in the lane. Nord layup is no good. He is fouled. Will go to the line for 2 free throws. Foul's going to go against Jose Placer. Placer, his third personal. And we have a timeout on the floor. Timeout on the floor. We'll go ahead and do the same. 2:51 left to go here. Second half from Tampa. It's all South Florida. 89-46 as we take a break. Back with more after this right here on the Edward Waters Sports Network.
Meet Harper. Harper was born to care and always had your back. Like the time she spotted a friend's rogue retainer, a threat of a permanent overbite, and made the save just in time.
I got you. Thanks.
Today, Harper still has your back as a teammate at Truist, the bank with Truist One checking.
I got you. Thanks.
With no overdraft fees, a negative balance buffer, and automatic upgrades, it's the checking account that has your back.
At Wingstop, we don't just make wings. We make wings worth obsessing over because every order is made fresh. Every single time. We don't start till you say go. And we make sure it'll be worth that wait, just like we've been doing for more than 20 years. From atomic to lemon pepper, we make it our way. And in doing so, make it irresistible. Wingstop, the wing experts.
Unfortunately for Edward Waters, we've just been thoroughly dominated here in the second half of play. South Florida outscoring the Tigers 47-18 in the second half of play. And shout out to a huge 89-46 lead here from Tampa with 2:51 left to go here in the ball game. Leading the way for the Tigers, Caleb Edwards with 15 points on 5 of 11 shooting, 5 of 7 from the free throw line. Also in double figures for Edward Waters is R.J. Nord. 5 of 11 from the field, 10 points for the Tigers. The Bulls, I should say, have heated up from the three-point line. 7 of 18 in the second half of play. 11 of 29 for the contest, shooting 37% from the three-point line. Selton Miguel leads the way for the Bulls with 15 points. Corey Walker and Chris Youngblood with 13. Kobe Knox with 12. 19 turnovers tonight have turned into 23 points for South Florida. R.J. Nord at the free throw line for Edward Waters. First free throw attempt for him is no good. Tigers tonight are now 10 of 16 for the charity stripe. Sykes shoots Make it 10 of 17. 2:45 to go here in the contest. South Florida leading 89-46. Here is Ogunleye, hands off to Walker. Walker top of the key for South Florida. Hands off to Reed with 10 on the shot clock now. Looks around at Ogunleye's screen. Bounce pass is going to go out of bounds. It'll be Tiger basketball. 2:26 left to go here. Second half, 89-46 South Florida. Jeremiah Quarting with it now for Edward Waters. Works between the circles. Over to Khalid Pogue. Pogue going to try a deep three. That one's no good, but into the hands of Quarting. Quarting in the corner to Glover. Glover's going to try a left side three. That one's no good. Rebound taken down by Ogunleye for South Florida. Down the floor into the hands of Reed. Reed into the lane. A jam by Sam Hines. Sam Hines Jr. with the slam dunk. 91-46. 1:55 left to go here. Second half. Quarting with it now. Driving down the lane. Layup attempt, no good. Hines with the rebound for South Florida. Down the floor come the Bulls. Over to Walker. Walker down the baseline. He is fouled. And will go to the line for what will be the 1-1. He's going to go against Mario Deeper. For Deeper, that's going to be his first personal.
Number 21, Mario Deeper. That's his first. Team's
ninth team foul against the Bulls. Head coach Cabral, Huff, and head coach Amir Abdul-Rahim having a bit of a conversation at half court. Free throw attempt for Walker is no good. Here is Pogue. As that free throw attempt was no good. In the lane is Glover. Glover's floater off the front of the rim, no good. Rebound taken down by Hines. It got into the hands of Pogue. Pogue's three is good. Khalid Pogue for three. 91-49. 1:15 left to go. Down the floor is Reed. Into the hands of Nick Smith, reserve guard. Here's Ogunleye. Ogunleye traveled. Nice job of pulling the seat out from under Ogunleye by Mario Deeper. 1:03 left to go here, second half. South Florida 91, Edward Waters 49, and just like that, a turnover off the inbound pass. Nick Smith set to trigger it in baseline right. Here's Hines. Works around the screen from Ogunleye. Over to Walker. Walker in the corner. Driving is Reed. Three for Hines is good. Less than a minute to go. 94-49 our score. South Florida with the lead. Here is R.J. Nord. Nord, he will try a three. That one's no good. Rebound taken down by Sam Hines. Down the floor, here's Walker. Walker's layup is no good. Rebound's going to be taken down by Trevino Glover for Edward Waters. 30 seconds left. Down the floor, here's Nord. Nord's layup is no good. Rebound taken down by Corey Walker. And head coach Amir Abdul-Rahim is just going to say, hey, no shot. We'll back off. And the Tigers will back off as well. 10 seconds remaining here. The crowd here at the Yuengling Center gives the Bulls a standing ovation. And it will be a victory for the Bulls in an exhibition play as South Florida takes the victory 94-49 here in Tampa. We'll go ahead and we'll take a quick timeout. When we come back, we'll have a quick post-game report here from Tampa. South Florida the victor tonight, 94-49 over Edward Waters. Back with stats after this right here on the Edward Waters Sports Network.
Meet Harper. Harper was born to care and always had your back. Like the time she spotted a friend's rogue retainer. A threat of a permanent...
I got you. Thanks.
Today, Harper still has your back as a teammate at Truist, the bank with Truist One checking.
I got you. Thanks.
With no overdraft fees, a negative balance buffer, and automatic upgrades, it's the checking account that has your back.
Man, I'm talking about Bono.
If I'm looking for that old style mouth watering, zesty flavored, finger-licking good southern barbecue, fill me up when I'm down, when there's nothing left around, we head straight to the best place in town.
Come on down.
A place that feels like home when I'm gone away from home. It's the smell that brings me back, it's true. Cause it's Bono's, the boss of barbecue.
Bono's, the boss of slow-cooked pit barbecue since 1949.
Ask Sherwin-Williams and save big during the 4-day super sale. Get 40% off paints and stains with sale prices starting at $26.69. Hurry, it's only September 15th through the 18th. Shop online or at your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store.
I'm John Davis, Secretary of the Florida Lottery, and I'm proud to lead an agency that is creating brighter futures for Florida students, families, and communities. As the primary funding source of the Bright Future Scholarship Program, the lottery has helped nearly 1 million students reach their dream of a post-secondary education. And we will continue to do our part to ensure that every student across this state is aware of these opportunities and has the resources needed to succeed. Because together, we can build a brighter future for all.
Hi, I'm attorney Robert Rubenstein, and this is Rubenstein's Rules for Personal Injury. Rule number 1, get an attorney. When you or a loved one have been injured by another's negligence, an experienced attorney can make a huge difference. At Rubenstein Law, we will find all of the insurance, make sure your injuries are documented, and work to get you the best result. While each case is different, a well-known insurance company's own study showed people with a lawyer, on average, got more money. Call Rubenstein Law at 1-800-FL-LEGAL. Offices in Jacksonville and throughout Florida.
Tigers fall in their exhibition tonight to South Florida by a final score of 94-49. Joshua Jackson here with you from the Yingling Center here in Tampa, Florida. A strong second half for the Bulls carried them to victory. They outscored Edward Waters 52-21 in that second half of play. Edward Waters from the field tonight, 32% from the field on 18 of 56 shooting. South Florida 33 of 63 from the floor, 52.4% shooting. South Florida also getting it done from behind the three-point line. They were 40% from the three-point line, 12 of 30 from behind the arc. Edward Waters was 3 of 16 from behind the arc tonight as well. On the charity stripe, Edward Waters 10 of 17, I should say, from the free throw line. 58.8%. South Florida 16 of 27 from the free throw line, 59.3%. South Florida with the edge in the rebounds, 52-23. Also for the Tigers, they struggled in terms of holding on to the basketball as they turned the ball over 20 times tonight. That resulted in 26 points for the South Florida Bulls. Leading the way for Edward Waters tonight was Caleb Edwards, the junior guard from Knoxville, Tennessee, with 15 points tonight in 27 minutes of work, with 5 of 11 from the floor, with 45% from the floor, with 5 of 7 from the free throw line. Behind him for the Tigers was R.J. Nord, a solid showing in his exhibition debut for Edward Waters. In 26 minutes of work, he had 10 points on 5 of 13 shooting tonight for Edward Waters. For South Florida, leading the way for the Bulls was Selton Miguel. Miguel with 15 points in this contest tonight. He was a reserve in 23 minutes of work. He was 5 of 12 from the floor, 3 of 7 from behind at the three-point line. Also for the Bulls in double figures was Chris Youngblood with 13 points as well as Corey Walker Jr. with 13 points. And Kobe Knox with 12 points in the night for the South Florida Bulls. Again, Edward Waters will officially open up their season next Saturday on the road up in Tennessee as they will take on Lee University at 2 o'clock p.m. next Saturday up in Cleveland, Tennessee. So definitely stay tuned to all of our social media channels as well as our website at ewutigerpride.com. We get all the latest news, scores, and inside information on Edward Waters University basketball and Edward Waters University athletics as a whole. That will do it for our broadcast here tonight from Tampa. It was a fun one bringing it here to you. An unfortunate outcome for Edward Waters. The Tigers fall in an exhibition, 94-46 to the Bulls of South Florida. Again, don't forget the Edward Waters football squad is back at home in their final home contest of the season this coming Saturday at 6 o'clock p.m. as they will host the Dragons of Virginia University of Lynchburg. Be sure to get your tickets now online at ewutigerpride.com/tickets. For all those who make this great broadcast possible, I'm Joshua Jackson. The unfortunate outcome again here from Tampa, our final score, South Florida 94, Edward Waters 49. Take care. God bless. Remember to make your next move your best move. We'll talk to you again this Saturday from the football game right here on the Edward Waters Sports Network. So long, everybody.